Welcome back everybody. So this is gonna be a quick update video for you guys on stock market, and before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now if you want to get my daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and you want to support the channel, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. Dow is up 0.14%, Nasdaq going up just over 0.5%, S&P going up 0.42%, and Russell going up the most 1.30%. And here's 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500 on top: basic materials, consumer cyclical, industrials, consumer defensive, utilities. So kind of a risk-off move here in the market. And then we have technology, real estate, and lagging behind again, energy, communication services, and financial. So, energy lagging behind, that could be a sign of a recession, but we're nowhere near it, guys. A lot of people are talking about it, and we will see it, if it's coming. But I mean, you can see the energy definitely, not leading today. And even last few days, we actually had a really bad day on energy. And even today, no continuation, nothing to the upside. We're still down on energy. And what do we got here on stock market map? We got Amazon going up 0.69%, Tesla up almost 1%. We got Meta going up 1.60%, Google down 0.79%. Apple flat. We got Nvidia going up almost 1%, and Microsoft also going flat on the day. Regional banks are doing okay right here, nothing big and nothing really down. But then we got JPM going flat, Bank of America going flat, and Wells Fargo going down 1.23%. And you can see energy sector right here, the big names. XOM down over 0.5%, and Chevron up slightly on the day, 0.43%. So the FOMC minutes came out, and looks like there is going to be a rate cut early as next month. Now, it's not all too bullish. If you think about it, why they're actually doing a rate cut, they can see something where we cannot see, which could be sign of a recession. And that is why they're pricing in, or at least they're thinking about doing a rate cut next month. And I think that is too early, because yes, something, maybe broken inside, we don't know. And they're just trying to do this rate cut, so they don't actually break that down even more. But also think about inflation. A lot of people seems to think that inflation actually came down. In my book, I don't see inflation going down a tiny bit. It's right where it was before. House prices you talk about, and then you talk about food and energy, everything is up, guys. I mean, only few things here and there, like these does not even make sense, are down. But everything else is pretty much high and elevated, and they're talking about inflation falling off the cliff, always revising the numbers and putting out fake numbers, because we also have an election coming in few months. So all that is lie, I would say. And even before that, Powell said inflation is gonna go away, and nothing to worry. And then what happened? He came out and changing his tone, and now the soft landing is really on the table. We're landing really nicely soft landing, and guess what? We might be, having a hard landing, and maybe even a crash landing, but we don't know yet. Nothing is confirmed. Market is still, pricing in all-time highs and just going even higher. We just saw the massive B-shaped recovery here in the market since August 5th, that sell-off, and market back to all-time highs in just a matter of 2 weeks. So talking about the market, there's a lot of money out there. So even if there is a recession, they can see it, because of how the money coming into this market, unless there is some fear something happens where it actually sparks a big sell-off. In that case, you will see people actually taking profit and getting out of this market. But so far, there is no signs of anybody getting out. A lot of greed here in this market. People are holding their position for more and more and more, and if they see a tiny bit, a dip like 5-10%, everybody is jumping on it and buying that dip. And that is why you're not seeing a significant correction here in the market. And I'm not talking about some bear market, massive crash that can happen. I'm just talking about a normal correction, higher lows and higher highs. So far we have got nothing like that. Market just got a B shape and still continuing that way. Now also, guys, Friday morning we have the speech from Powell, and that should shake up things. And today expected move was really small, so market actually went nowhere except IWM going up over 1%. On SPY ETF, it's up slightly 0.34%, but look at this move to the upside, straight up like a rocket and no pullback, nothing, gap up and go, and even still going now, even with low volume here. Now, we did close this gap today at 562. Instantly, we found just a tiny bit of resistance there, and then we saw a bit of a pullback, but absolutely holding this trend line at 560. Before closing, and looks like this Bollinger Band on top now actually going up even more. It's sitting at 567, so I think a retest by Friday of that previous all-time high definitely on the card. It can happen right here at 565 if we can actually clear and hold 562 on SPY ETF. Then the next stop 565, previous all-time highs, and then from there 567 to even 573, and that's gonna be brand new all-time high, the quickest V-shape in recent times right here on SPY ETF. Now on a pullback, we take out 560, this trend line, and then we also take out 5-day moving average 557. In that case, we might see a bit of a drop right here down to, I would say, 554 right here, where we actually held today. And underneath that level, you're going to see this gap getting filled right here and that's at around 545. So that's going to be a decent size move to the downside if only that happens in next few sessions. Otherwise, definitely, forget about filling this gap. An expected move for this week to the upside is already 562, and we did hit that level today, and we found some resistance. So who knows, guys? I mean, even last week it was like a 2-3 sigma move, and this week already up to that upper weekly expected move, which is 562, closing the gap, and it can actually continue even higher, retesting previous all-time high and possibly going to make a brand new all-time high. On QQQ, it's up 0.47%. So this one you can see right on my screen. The move is V-shaped and going straight up without a pullback, not even an hourly downtrend. Now, usually, yes, the market is bullish. There is a lot of buying here in this market, but just like, where do you see a higher low? We have nothing here, guys. For past 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks now, we're just going straight up. This was the only dip buying opportunity, and we actually did not stay down here. It actually moved up the next day and then gap up and go, and from there another gap up and go, and now every day grinding and going even higher, like $2-3 pretty much every day. And small tiny pullbacks are getting bought up immediately, like it did today, yesterday, and day before. So now there will be support at 480 and then 478, 474.42. Underneath that level, you're going to see possibly a drop under the 50-day moving average down to this gap 465. Now, if we can continue this way and no pullback, we just get small tiny pullbacks. As long as we're above, I would say 478 to 480. The next stop, this gap getting filled at 493. Whether you like it or not, this is where QQQ is going, and that's going to be the next stop over 480 here on QQQ. On Dow Jones, it's flat on the day, but if you look at my screen, as Dow Jones just making a move back up to the upside near all-time highs, volume here is drying up, which is not a good signal for the bulls. And you can see momentum is not there anymore. Candles are getting smaller and smaller, doji type candles. So indecision candle yesterday and pretty much today, and not really going anywhere because there is no volume on it. Because who wants to go new money long here? Only a no-brainer will say, hey, I'm going long here, and I think it's gonna break out and it's gonna go to like 450. Only a no-brainer can buy this and hold long term, right? So Dow Jones volume dropping, and you can see it right here, right on my screen. The lowest volume, in last maybe a couple of weeks. You can see it right here, guys. The lowest volume. Now Dow Jones, the next stop is definitely right here at 411, and over that we will retest previous all-time highs near 414, and over that we could see brand new all-time highs. Now on a pullback, it needs to hold this rising 5-day moving average, which is sitting really near 408, and underneath that level you're going to see a dump off down to 405, and from there this gap will likely to get filled at 400. And once we get under 400, guys, Dow Jones will be in trouble, and we might see more selling down to 397, and from there much lower. On IWM, it's up 1.30%. So as soon as that FOMC minutes came out, this thing rallied back up and pretty much closing at the high of the day. And for yesterday and even today, you can see this white line 20-day moving average sitting just over 212 was holding again today, was holding, went back up, and now we're actually over 215. So now your line in the sand is going to be 215, underneath that level 212, and then 211, and then this gap 208.75. The longer time we spend over, I would say 215 here on IWM, there is a good chance this thing can move easily up to 220s and then 225. So on VIX it's up 2.46%, and it's getting really interesting right here that, VIX going up, but the market does not care. And it's trading over this, a big level, which is 15 bucks, and now trading over 16, and definitely over this 5-day moving average, which is sitting at 1537. So VIX here a little bit elevated over 15, and that is telling us that in the short term we might see a spike here on VIX up to 18, and I think it got up to 17 plus today. So 18 can happen, and maybe something like this can happen, because if you look at my screen, upper Bollinger Band sitting at 32 bucks. So if this thing wants to run, yes, it can. We just need that breakout over 18, and that should take VIX up to 20 plus in no time. Now, if this is actually just a dead cat bounce, you'll see a breakdown under 15, and if that happens, well, you'll see the market hitting brand new all-time high. So VIX definitely telling us there is a lot of fear inside, but not a lot of people are showing that. Not a lot of investors are actually selling out and panicking, but they're definitely going for that safety, and that is why this thing is actually up, and market also going up where they're not selling but going for that safety trade, and possibly hedging with VIX right here, and that is why we saw VIX going up yesterday and even today. Now I want to talk about dollar, which is down 0.28%. It's getting absolutely destroyed here on this daily time frame. I mean, look at even weekly, it's even worse. And why? $100 level we already hit. We talked about it in my video before, and that was, I think, yesterday. We did hit 100, but if you look at my screen, that is actually a strong level of support, 100. We got tiny bit of bounce, but nothing big. But the key thing I want to show you guys, last time that actually happened, and I'm not even going back anything where it actually happened previously, but just look at last time. So dollar came back, hitting 100, going under this lower Bollinger Band, this purple line. And what happened from there? Well, massive rally all the way up to 105. That is a $5 move here on dollar, and that actually triggered a big sell-off here on S&P 500. Now, second time, again, like just recent times, it's happening right here. Lower Bollinger Band sitting at 102, and the dollar trading at 101, getting down to 100 almost yesterday. So dollar here, definitely we might see some sort of I'm not even talking about any events right now, just a dead cat bounce can put pressure on S&P 500. So if this thing bounces back up and gets over 102.61 right here, in that case, dollar definitely in the short term we might see some sort of move back up to the upside, where you can actually put a lot of pressure on S&P 500. It can possibly go up to 103, and then 103.58, even 104.48, and you can see these levels here are really strong around 100. We might go down to maybe even just slightly under 100, but you can see strong support here near 100, and I think that is where a dollar can get a big bounce, and if that happens, it can put a lot of pressure on S&P 500. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated, and make sure this video actually gets 100 plus likes. That is greatly appreciated, guys. Thank you so much, and have a great night.